Hi, my name's Ron Hagaman, Battalion Chief for the C Shift at Lansing Fire. Today you guys are going to ride around with me and see what we do for the day, and I'll explain some of what we do here at Lansing Fire. Lansing Fire has 3 shifts, an A, a B, and a C shift. I am on C shift. I am the Battalion Chief. I manage roughly 6 stations, 41 people on duty a day. So today is obviously lucky enough to have you guys around for the day. It's just kind of the way it goes, the nature of the beast. We have 2 ladder trucks, 6 engines, 5 ambulances. And then we have rigs that we'll bring for special things. There's a hazmat rig. I'll show you that at Station 4. And then we have tech rescue, which would be confined space, high angle, or collapse, which is at Station 8. There's a pack tracker. We do hood exchanges. I have some first aid stuff if needed.
I'm hearing that you're the glue that keeps a bunch of stations together.
Oh no, not at all. They can run themselves. I just keep them accountable and safe.
Can you break down the stations, the 6 of them?
Yeah, Station 1 you were just at, and we'll go show you Station 2 since they're not here. Actually, we can run up there right now. Station 2 is on Grand River. Station 8 is on Marshall. That's the 3 north end. And then you have Station 9 on Glendale off of Cedar. And then you have 6 is on Pleasant Grove and Jolly. And 4s is on Miller. 4s is where the hazmat is. 8s is where the tech rescue is, and then we have extrication tools for the car accidents. Jaws of life, quote unquote, at Station 6, Station 2, and Station 9's we call it the heavy rescue. Has a little bit more advanced stuff.
How many calls do you think are going to come in today?
Oh, I have no idea.
You know what a Tuesday looks like?
No, you don't. That's the beauty of this job.
Okay. Tell me the beauty of the job.
When you think you know it all, you'll be humbled real quick. Engines can make anywhere from 8 to 14 to even up towards 18 calls. And ambulances, you're lucky if you get to eat, and you're probably not going to sleep because you'll be running, could be all day. You could have a slow day and be up all night. It's just, you're going to get your runs. Ambulances run anywhere, I'd say, from 18 upwards to 22 calls a day, which each medical call is probably an hour. So I mean, that's your day is running calls. It's a tough job. It's not a hard job. You just don't sleep and you get used to it. Routine calls are not routine calls. I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad about it. You get kind of in that daydrum of this is a routine call, and all of a sudden it's not. You get called for a sprained ankle, you're not thinking it's much, and all of a sudden it's full arrest or something totally different than what dispatch tells you. Hypothetically speaking, if we were out and about today, and if we'll try to catch some calls, obviously I'm not going to take you to medicals just because of privacy, but if we were to come up to a fire, so my role at a fire is accountability. I am blessed on the C shift and Lansing Fire in general. We have good officers. I've always said, I don't have to tell them how to put out a fire, if that makes sense. They are tactically trained. We catch enough fires that they know their job, they know the rules. We have policies that kind of dictate how we do things. First engine does this, first truck does this, third engine. My job is to make sure that the vision, or whatever you want to say, the plans are followed, our benchmarks are hit, and everybody's safe. I have my gear, first aid, AED, bottles for the crews. So in the back of every seat, they'll get out at a fire wearing their pack. Depends on their task. These are 30-minute bottles. Obviously, if you're swinging an axe, you'll run out of air much faster. If you stretch a line in a room and you're on your knee just putting fire out, you can go 30, 35 minutes if you're in good shape. the pack tracker, every one of our air packs, so we'll get somebody to show you what a pack does. But if you stop moving, if you have a heart attack and fall down, after so many seconds, it'll just start alarming. So we know to find you. If you turn this on, it's kind of like a find and seek. It'll alarm that somebody's set, you can set to it, and it'll kind of get you in the area. Like it would go second story first, but it's not gonna walk you in, if that makes sense. A CO2 pulse oximeter and a temperature gun, because lithium ion batteries are getting to be a problem. Gives us a way to keep an eye on temp. Over here, told you we have a hood swap. We keep clean hoods to reduce cancer. Extra radios, my air pack, just stuff, a rope bag if ever needed, water rescue. Up front's the captain's area, office computers, they can do their work. Lounge area, we'd call it. Extra vehicle for water rescue. There's a boat and their kitchen.
Important hub.
Hey, first night I ever spent in the station was at this station. So this is Station 2, kind of the northeast corner of the city. Got the airport. Now the airport has their own ARFs and fire, but we will back them up. We also have a few chemical plants, a lot of apartments, military building up on North MLK, a lot of residential, a lot. Hop in. We don't always end up at the station we start because of the rigs. My first day, I was supposed to report to Station 9 on Glendale, which we'll hit. And I pulled in the parking lot, got out, brand new kid, all excited to be at work. And somebody, I don't even know who it was this day, just yelled out the door, "Hey, are you Hagaman?" "Yeah." "Go to Station 2. So I got back in my car and went to Station 2. So by rank. All right, captain, if you're the double company, the senior captain, person with the most time, that's his station, he's in charge, he's the boss. Then you have the engineer. The engineers take care of pretty much the rigs. And then the fireman. Everything kind of in the fire culture is by seniority. So who cooks? If you have a person that likes to cook, he'll cook. If not, it's the junior person. Whether he's good, bad, or not, we'll usually make him better. Trying to be bad on purpose isn't going to work. So, for the most part, as you can see, there's not many skeletons laying around the fire department. There's always peanut butter and jelly.
When you're cooking, what happens if you cut yourself?
When you go to Station 1, go look at the kitchen. You get your name on the wall. If you get stitches, you go to the clinic and you get off till the doctor tells you can come back to work. So, yes, there is a name board. That's some good culture. With names with little nicknames behind them. If they have to go to the grocery to cook every day, they'll have to leave and come back. But having the car, I can go pretty much anywhere.
And that's why sometimes you see firefighters at the grocery store.
Yes, we have to eat, and obviously if we don't take the rig and you get called out, you wouldn't want to have to drive back to the station to get your rig when you're already there. A lot of people ask us that. Why do we have to be there? Or more or less, there's not as many grocery stations, so you might see 2 rigs there. Well, what are 2 rigs? Well, it's 2 different stations getting their meals. So we cook for the day. A lot of people ask us how that works. So we throw in X amount of dollars, depends on the station. You throw in, like at my station, it's $15 for the day, and I'll get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Obviously, if there's only 4 people at the station, you tend to cook a lot cheaper on the budget. Generally, lunch is the big meal. So lunch would be your meat and potatoes, whatever it is, full salad type of deal. And then the night meal could be just about anything you want.
Schaefer's cooking, that's how I heard it.
Better be something good, Schaefer. Pork steak and chicken sandwiches.
You got all the basics. You're cooking for the day or just for the lunch?
I'm cooking both meals, yep, whole day. Salad, both these.
Get close.
What do you got concocted there?
Philly cheesesteaks.
No, come on.
Yeah. Lansing cheesesteaks, I guess, right?
Wow, this smells great. What's the secret? You got a lot of spices going.
This is a great grandma's recipe here. I can't give the secret. A lot of family secret recipes that we don't share with anybody, so.
You've had it before, tell me.
Oh,
good?
Delicious. Best cheesesteak on the Sunlands.
Yeah!
Anybody want to come up and touch him and give him a hug? He's very huggable. Yes!
So we stopped out to see what Engine 2 is doing on Capitol with Captain Natalie Likowitz.
Today we're doing a school program for all these children here. We're letting them know that we're here to protect them and save them if need be. We talk about fire safety, let them see the rigs and actually see what we do, see what we sound like when we're in a fire.
Engine 42, you're allowed to clear.
See, she comes back to me. I try to be polite and nice to them because they take care of us and we take care of everybody else. Who wants to sit in the driver's seat? The kids are very curious and they like to have fun. So us reaching out to the community helps to just get out and about, and then they can see what we do and go home and tell their mom and dads.
Thank you.
My name is Chad Redmond. I'm a firefighter with the Lansing Fire Department. Today I'm actually acting engineer, so that means I'm in charge of the engine, everything on it, and getting everybody to the call wherever we're dispatched that may be going to a fire. If it's in our area, I'll be the one running the pump panel, basically supplying the water. We also do extrication, so if there's somebody that's trapped in a vehicle, we have the equipment on here to get them out. So we're one of two rigs that have that equipment on our rig. So just we go where we're needed, and today my job is to get them there.
Like I said, the worst part for me is a very far south fire because a lot of stuff I'm not there for yet. So a lot of those, remember I told you we have our policies, that's what they follow. I know what they're doing, but I'm not there yet to actually be a part of it, if that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. Neighboring departments are so short-staffed, and they have jump rigs where you might be on an ambulance and fire comes in, you jump up an engine. We have the dedicated manpower that most of our fires are little because we're there so fast. And like I said, quick for a fire, or any medical, you can even say a medical, giving them oxygen or the AED or CPR, putting water on a fire, a hazmat, stopping a leak, diking a leak, damming a leak. We get there so quick that we do have big fires, not often. Most of our fires are contained to one room. So the old adage is fire doubles in size every minute. Obviously, one room in a minute can be 2 rooms, then 4 rooms, keeps compacting. So we get there so quick that one room fire is all it is. So we got 6 engines, right? And I have a fire, 3 of them are at a fire, and now I have a second fire come in. Well, both my ladder trucks are at that fire. I have to rely on mutual aid. There are some departments that utilize us a lot as their backup because we have the manpower. But our goal, you'd have to talk to the chiefs because you have to remember, there's so many variables in, did they hit the en route button on the computer? Did they do it on the radio? Did was this engine right here out on a medical, and the fire was right over there, and it seemed to take longer because engine 1 had to come because these guys were at the hospital with a full arrest. You see what I'm saying? So a goal, you know, we try 3 to 4 minutes. That's pretty much unrealistic, but sometimes we do. We catch fires when we're out and about driving around. All right, so this is station 8. Ready?
Yep.
Come on, William.
Hi guys, my name is Nathan Lay. I've been a firefighter here at the city of Lansing for just over 4 years now. Stationed here for just about 3 years. This is station 8. We do a lot of the technical rescue for inside the city and then also the surrounding areas of the city. We'll do a quick tour of the tech truck and show you guys, show you what's all on there. So this is our technical rescue truck. It's part of the Musar Region 1, which is a big area, mid-Michigan area that we cover. We respond with different agencies. They also have fire personnel that are trained in tech rescue, and they'll meet us on scene to assist. A lot of the guys here are fully trained in all the technical rescue aspects. And then we can also pretty much all drive this if we need be if one comes in. So this is firefighter Bobby Handa. How long you been stationed here, Bobby? 2-3 months. So a lot of the tech rescue that we do involves any kind of high-rise rope rescue situation. We also do like tower rescues, phone towers, trench rescues. Those are actually kind of our most common rescues. Any kind of digging, electrical, you know, digging holes, collapse. Cars into buildings, a big one. If we deem the structure's unstable and we need to stabilize it, we have all the equipment to do that here. Right over here in these first cabinets, we got like our supplied air lines, stuff that we use, any kind of confined space that we need to do. We'll go on air if need be, if the environment is hazardous to us. We got some communication headsets, just some different equipment for, like I said, this is mostly confined space stuff, our supplied air lines that we can connect right to, so we don't have to go into a SCBA, which is the bottle we wear on our back in firefighting, but we can also use these as well. This just lets us work longer in the environment. We have air compressor generators in here to run all that supplied air. Tape measures, hammers, nails, levels, stuff if we need to build up for a collapse. This is real stuff right here. So over here is the fun stuff. This is when we get talking about trench or any kind of collapse where we need to build up stabilization for a structure or a trench hole. We use these. These are all our Paratech rescue struts. Got a lot of them, got a lot of different ones. Some of the different agencies around the area also have some of this equipment, but we carry the most out of all the area. So different attachments, different heads for all the struts. We have some that you can nail onto wooden blocks to secure them, some with different kind of feet. So you gotta be careful with your fingers on this too. You can pinch your fingers very easily. So here we have more struts that we use for trench and collapse. If we had a building collapse, a house, a car into a building, we can build some kind of framework up to stabilize the building. So if a building is leaning out or like about to fall or collapse, we can build like a T-shore or we have a bunch of different kinds of shores we can build depending on the type of collapses that's happening. And that's the nice thing about these, so we don't have to build it out of wood. We can literally we can support a building, you know, obviously the extent of it, but we can pretty fast, within 10 minutes. We can have support, you know, make it safe to go into the structure in case someone's in there or pinned under something, you know, the wall falls on them. We can have these up pretty quick and, you know, start working on our rescue. Back here is kind of where we get to our lumber section. So as you know, lumber nowadays, pretty expensive, but this is all loaded out. We have everything cut to specific lengths, different dimensional lumber, so we know, you know, if we want to build something 8 foot high, right here's an 8 foot piece, 12 foot, 16, different, like I said, different dimension of lumber. We got our trench panels. So if you're digging a big trench for like a communication line or something and it caves in on the side, we'd use these big panels and you'd set them on the side, and then we'd use those struts we went back there, and we'd actually compress them with air and stabilize the trench that way. So there's a lot on this truck, a lot of different equipment. It's like a giant toolbox, yeah. It goes a little slower, but it's got a lot of power. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff on here. And we're backing it up, a lot different than a standard car. So we'd respond to basically anywhere in these counties or anywhere statewide if requested. And like I said, all the surrounding departments, they also have, they're part of Region 1 Task Force. So, and then this stands for Urban Search and Rescue. So these are old ammo cans, but these are all full of different nails, screws, concrete anchors. Up above we have more breathing apparatus bottles, just so we are prepared, you know, if we have a big scale event. Plates, nailing patterns that we use to, because every shore has different nailing patterns, you know, it's all spec'd out by FEMA, the book we use, so every different kind of shore we build, every spot where we nail has a certain pattern you have to use. So, and we have a big, I'll show you the book when we get up there, that we follow. And then, like I said, all those patterns are already made out for us, so we don't have to think too hard about it. We can just nail where there's a hole drilled.
And this is so you have quick safety.
Yep, oh yeah, quick safety. Safety for us, safety for people that enter the structure after us. And, you know, we try to dumb things down so we can do it efficiently and fast and in a safe manner. We got axes, pike poles, sledgehammers. We got some rods, shovels, all kinds of, like I said, this is where the toolbox is right here. All kinds of tools in there, gas, different saw blades for our saws back here. If we're cutting through concrete, wood, metal, we got all different kinds of stuff. We're prepared for just about everything. Over here, we got a lot of our saws. We got our K12s, we got some chainsaws, concrete saws, jackhammer, these are hydraulic hoses that we hook up to the generator here. Some of these tools run off of hydraulic generator. Some of them are gas powered. Over here, we got a lot of our cutting stuff. So we have some cutting torches here that we use. We actually have 3 different kinds. There's a exothermic torch up here. There's another torch, and then down here is another torch. So depending on what we're cutting is what torch we'll bring out, right? So if it's like a thicker steel that we're trying to cut, we'll grab a certain torch. Right there's our big hydraulic generator. Like I said, a lot of our tools, some of our tools run off of that. I mean, like I said, this is a big mobile toolbox. There's a lot of cool stuff on here. So in the cab's a lot of our office stuff, we'd like to call it. Got a lot of books, manuals, operation manuals. This kind of gives us, like I was talking about earlier, tells us how to build certain shores, different things to look for. And it's all designed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and then FEMA approves it all. So it's a national standard. And those are kind of our guidelines for structural collapse. We got different maps in here, different radios. We got a whole wall of radios here, whole wall behind us. We have our gas monitors where we can measure the quality of the air, make sure nothing's dangerous in the air if we're working in a confined space, or, you know, make sure there's no gas leaks. That's about it, I think.
All right.
Well, my name's Captain Jim Garlitz with the Station 8. I'm one of the tech rescue captains with the C platoon. What we have behind us is it's a multifaceted tower that we use for several different types of training. We can use that for rope rescue training from the top. Also, we have, as you can see, it's got a roof simulator. And then on the bottom floor, we have what is similar to your regular housing with windows. So we can do different types of shoring on the third floor for collapse. If a car's into a building or a tree hits a building, we can practice our techniques to keep that structure from collapsing. This time of year we do quite a bit of training because of the weather. We'll go into the fall. We'll do all those different types of training. The roof simulator we use quite a bit with new firefighters, learning how to operate and cut holes in roofs, and we simulate that up there. So the vault, as you can see, it is above ground, but typically those that are located throughout the city, they're below ground, below grade. You might have electric through the Board of Water and Light. You'll have thousands and thousands of volts of electricity. Someone may be overcome by different types of gases, like I said, or become electrocuted or something to that effect. But those are typically below grade, and there'll be manhole covers on them. We have these types of vaults all over our city. On Station 8 we have a number of different radio towers and things. That's for our emergency operations. We've initiated that during the ice storm a couple of times. Different events that are larger than regular. You'll have I believe the whole cabinet from the city government will be down there. Emergency operations, fire department, police department. It's natural disaster type things, and that is a number of the different radio systems that we use.
It's been tough on family life. You know, obviously if you think about, we work 10 days a month, 24 hours. You have to have a very strong spouse at home to, you know, if something's going to break in my house, I'll be here. You know, if the toilet quits working or water goes down or something breaks, you can bet I'm here. So, been lucky, you know, my wife's a very strong person, and, you know, obviously that's a lot of time away from the kids, but so just a lot of office work. 7:30 is when the shift actually starts. I'll usually head down there and I'll get breakfast. If I have to deal with the chiefs, I'll go back and deal with them, then I'll go out and hit the stations. If there is no formal training for us, the captains will do training for the day. So, I mean, it can be a random of EMS, whatever they want, ropes and knots. They can go pull a line, hook hydrants, high rise. If you're in an extrication station, you could go cut up a car. So that's strictly up to what the captain wants to do. We have a lot of mandatory training that takes away from that one-on-one training. And you'll see today, so a couple weeks ago, I think it was, they went out and did extrication. We'll call it school, but they go out and they cut up cars. Well, today, you're gonna watch them do a scenario. And hopefully we can get out there for it. And it'll be literally, this is your call, go to work. So it's run, walk, run, however you want to say it. So that'll be cool. And then right around 4 or 5, things slow down. Obviously the firemen will cook dinner. You'll eat dinner at 5 roughly. Then after that, people, depends on what station you're at, movies, ping pong, workout. Obviously, me not being part of a crew, I usually work out around 3. That's what I like to work out, so I'll go up in the workout room and either run or lift or something for the day. Try to do that every day. And then at night I'm doing computer work till probably 9, 10 o'clock. Just kind of the end of the day. I have to review reports and stuff like that. So long days, but they go by pretty quick. Like, I mean, here it is, already noon, so the day's moving along. So you're actually here till you're relieved. Somebody has to take your stuff off and then you go home. If you don't know our schedule, we work a day, we're off a day, we work a day, we're off a day. We work a day, we're off 4. And it just keeps repeating itself, if that makes sense. So obviously I'll have 4 days off. So that's a good shift to be at home. But obviously if I get no sleep tonight, tomorrow's kind of not a wasted day, but I don't have a ton of energy on my day off if I get no sleep. And after the 3rd day, usually your 4th day, your 1st day off on that long day, you're pretty whipped. But when I came in, you'll get hired. They'll go through an academy, and they hire people at different levels, if that makes sense. So some might need more than others. So they'll gauge their academy, and then once they get out of there, you become a probationary fireman for a year. And you get to carry around a book, and the officers make notes, your training, how you're doing, stuff like that. After a year, then you're a fireman. And I think after 4 years, you're a full paid fireman. And then you'll go to, like, the gentleman we saw on Engine 2, he's an actor. So I think he's a 6, 7, maybe an 8-year fireman. Well, now he's starting to act. So he might make promotion to engineer. That's the next step. You don't have to get promoted. You could stay a fireman. We have a couple. And you can stay an engineer. You don't have to go on to become a captain.
Sounds like a small service line for residents.
So you start as a fireman. You're probably going to do your longest career there. Then you make engineer, which means basically all you do is drive. And once you get a few years of that, then you'll start passing the tests. You'll be eligible to be promotable, and then you'll be able to be an acting captain. So it's just a different day. I mean, I miss fighting fire. I miss making calls. I miss the interactions with the citizens. You know, I like that. But, you know, I guess in a way I was kind of ready for a little different change, and I made
44, do you hear any hissing or blowing?
I made it last August, so, you know, I knew I'd do it for a year or two.
Negative,
Not really a big deal.
This time, just odor around the hole.
Okay, this is Lansing Fire Station number 9, Glendale and Cedar. We kind of cover the middle, Mount Hope area, down to the Jolly area. More this side, 6s has a bigger area. They have an engine, 49 is kind of our heavy rescue engine. So not only do they have the extrication equipment, they have some extra tools for heavy rescue, airbags, stuff like that. Obviously they're out on calls right now. We have Medic 49 and Medic 491. And they also have an ATV, which is just an old truck that used for grass fires. It's got a small pump and water on it, fiber gloom, stuff we can take off-road if we have a grass fire. So we have 3 ambulance stations. Station 1, the first one you're at. This one, the next one will be Station 6, which just has 1 medic. So 1s has 2 medics, 9s has 2 medics, Station 6 has 1. And that's just kind of generally most of our calls. Like 1s at night tend to get really busy. So these rigs will be heading to the north end quite a lot.
How do you keep this stuff straight?
Experience. I tell you what, it's so weird what you can get used to hearing. Like I sleep with that radio by my ear. I have it on 24/7. I look, you know, I got it here if a rig breaks down or if they're in trouble, blah blah blah, whatever you want to say. But I can key in on words like LPD, gun, or battalion. I mean, we can be talking, I'll be in the bio. As soon as I hear one of those 3 words, I'll stop and listen. It's just kind of weird. Or you hear the word fire, obviously. Or pinning, just the bigger calls. But if I hear the word battalion or LPD, because sometimes what's frustrating is obviously I'm there for their safety as a backup. And I'll hear them like in medic crew, well, hey, send me LPD, and that's all they'll say. And that just drives me crazy because, you know, do you want a priority? Are you in danger? Or you just have, you know, is the person you're with wanting to make a report? So it's just kind of, you just get used to it. This is our hazmat station. Community room. Citizens can rent it. I was very proud to be a captain here. Captain's room. Kitchen. When we throw in our pool, we have contingent money. So like, let's say, we'll make it easy. Us four are stationed here. We pay 10 bucks a day, 40 bucks. Like $3 of that every day will go into a pot. And that's what we buy: coffee, ketchup, rice, brown sugar, cooking stuff, spices. That's the contingent money. Cable bill, which we don't pay anymore, but internet we used to pay. This is the hazmat station. We were chatting. My side job is I teach hazmat at the state police. So I teach firefighters how to respond to hazardous materials incidents. So this was all bought post 9/11 off of grant money. This is our hazmat squad. It's got all of the stuff to deal with hazmat. This has the monitors to identify chemicals, stop chemical leaks, plug and patch, the big yellow suits that no air, outside air can get in. When this station opened, it was actually an engine, a truck, and an ambulance. Got to spend the first night when this station was open too. Workout room. Sometimes depends on your station crew. They will work out together. They will put up cycles, whatever the fitness craze is that day. But they'll do group workouts, or you'll just sneak in by yourself and do what you want. So obviously, when I was stationed here with all the rigs, that was all full of people. See, look at number 10. My name's still there. They shrined me. So this is a pretty cool rig, fun rig to drive. No water on it, so it does kind of move. Fireman, you just literally do what you're told. You know, you pull up to the house, captain says, you know, pull the smoothbore front door, and you just go. I remember what I said about it can get you. You learn from your mistakes real quick, and you don't want to let anybody down or yourself. There's a lot of pressure, and like I said, you can make the wrong decision, and bad things can happen. But that's just, like I said, I'm blessed with good officers that know and understand fire behavior and know their personnel strengths and weaknesses on what we can get going and how fast we can get stuff taken care of. And, I mean, I know every department will say this, but we're pretty doggone aggressive. And what that means is we're going to go in and get the fire. I mean, it's a matter of, you know, if you stand outside long enough, or if you dilly-dally, it'll be a defensive fire. And those aren't fun because you're there a long time. So the best thing, like I said, get that first line in play. You can put a lot of fire out with 1 3/4 inches. Trust me, when you sit here and hear dispatch call for an ambulance 3 or 4 times, and I'll either get on the radio and say, hey, send LPD, send the closest engine, you'll be amazed at how many officers will be there relatively quick. And same with us. They are the same team. They're all great guys, gals. We joke with them. I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman by the name of Captain Steve Mazurek, who is one of my other classmates, who I've known since about 4th grade. He is running it. He's he's the B shift captain at Station 9, so kind of the extrication guy there.
We do have 3 extrication rigs in the city. Station 2 being on the north end, Station 6 being on the south end, and Station 9 being in the center of the city. We all carry about the same amount of equipment. Station 9 carries a few extras, so that's why it's always been kind of known as the the heavy rescue rig, if you will. We carry a few extra tools than the other ones. This last week and this week we are doing extrication training for the department as a whole. Last week it was just back to the basics. We dash rolls, dash lifts, cutting the doors off, letting everybody get their hands on the tools before we went into this week and actually are doing a scenario-based type of deal thing. So today what we're doing, we're having the crews stop outside the gate and then letting them all line up, and then we will actually dispatch, per se, an actual incident. And then they will come in and they will be presented with what they have. And so it's real time. This is what you've got, go get it. You had all your basics last week. You should know today what you got to do to execute the extrication. This morning we had a scenario 1, which was a vehicle underneath a semi-trailer. Like I said, everything that we are doing this week, we actually have had happen to us in the past. So several years ago, we did have a vehicle that drove underneath a semi-trailer that was docked at a local business. So this morning, we kind of duplicated that the best we can. We had 2 victims inside this vehicle this morning. So the crews, when they got here, they determined what they had, and they had to shore up the semi-trailer and the vehicle and get after it and get those victims out of the vehicle. This afternoon, we have, in about a half hour, we have other crews coming out, and we have scenario 2, which is this vehicle here. We have a family inside that vehicle that is actually trapped, and they need to be extricated now. And that is laying up against the semi-trailer on the freeway, upside down with the family trapped. And so they will be forced with, this is what you've got, go get it. Let's see how you perform. This is not to, say you did bad on this and you did bad on that. This is just a scenario that we can drive up on at any given time. It's just training. So that's what we're doing. Today, this one, we have a rolled over vehicle with a family inside. That's basically the information that you get. I will say the trailer side of the vehicle is out of play. So you cannot go around to the trailer side. You can go around, but you can't extricate from that side because that is actually supposed to be pinned against the trailer on the freeway. So nothing is made up. Nothing is far-fetched. These are actual runs that have occurred in the city. There's nothing crazy. There's no surprises. It is what it is. Let everybody get involved.
We're looking for someone to establish command, come up with a plan, delegate resources, safety officer, things like that. And the paramount thing is that no one gets hurt during training. So if you're in the hot zone, Captain Villegas is going to go over the site safety plan.
So my name is Dave Rivet. I'm the acting training chief here at Lansing Fire Department. Today we're doing a hands-on scenario of an extrication scenario. Last week we did just basic extrication tools, and now we're putting it all together. So basically they started at the gate, and this is what they see. We had Troyers put mannequins in the car, and then they crushed it, and we moved it here. So basically this is like the most real-life scenario that we're going to make for extrication. Right now what they're trying to do is obviously a life safety. They want us to get the victims removed and do any property conservation and incident stabilization. So they're getting the car stabilized when they first got here, come up with a plan. The next thing they're going to do is get their tools out, assess, making sure the goal for our training exercise is that everyone stays safe and we practice like we play. So anytime we have a scenario like this, we want to make sure we establish a command, someone that's in charge, and they will delegate a safety officer, firefighters to go ahead and open the doors once they come up with a plan or an incident action plan. From there, they'll start, they're probably going to meet roadblocks, they overcome them, and do the best they can to get those victims out as fast as possible. Once this is over and concluded, we're going to have what we call a hot wash or a post-incident analysis. We'll talk about things that went well, things that we can improve on, and always end with a positive. A lot of times you'll hear the term jaws of life. They're hydraulic tools that we have. On our department, we have cutters that cut metal, and we have spreaders that spread metal apart. So you might hear our department call them the tools or the cutters or spreaders, but industry standard, they call it the jaws of life, not to confuse anybody. They're the same tool. Sometimes if you develop a plan and we're not getting any headway with that, we may have to change courses to come up with a better plan to get the people out of the vehicle or the mannequins out. So that's just kind of what we do. At any call, sometimes if you have a plan, you have to go the other way and do something different if we're not successful or getting progress.
If you're thinking about a career in fire, Lansing Fire is a great place to work. It's enjoyable, you work with great people, you serve your citizens, you'll feel good about what you do when you go home. 25 years will go by relatively fast, faster than a blink of an eye, and then all of a sudden you're walking out the door. Thanks for riding along with me. I have been blessed with a 25-year career here at Lansing Fire. I've enjoyed working here every day. I've enjoyed working with my coworkers, and I've enjoyed serving the public. It's been a great career, and thanks for watching.